the first Trump administration, like I just said, passed various legislation in support of women's rights and in support of gender-based conflict. And in the second administration, as you said, obviously the Trump changed his tone. Just briefly, what was the explanation? And after all, there was a Secretary of State who was presumably more committed to human rights issues. What was it? What was done? What was the explanation? What were you told when you were told, well, this department is going to be terminated?
They basically said that these were not priorities, and did not align with the president's priorities. It was not, they were looking at doing things a different way and having the work integrated into more of the regional bureaus as opposed to having actual expertise in human rights issues, which is a huge mistake, actually, and something that, countries like China have been very happy to step into and take. From a national security perspective, I can tell you that some of our colleagues that worked in areas such as countering violent extremism, had often said that the United States' ability to support human rights and women's rights, really was kind of what was a trust building exercise. And much of diplomacy is really about trust building. And the people of many countries trusted us because of our foreign aid or our advocacy on human rights and women's rights issues. Certainly when you talk about, places that, in areas of conflict, if we look at places like Gaza, for example, if you're talking about organizations such as Hamas, it was something, I think the percentage was 80% of the women were anti-Hamas at that point, and it was almost the opposite for men, so you're looking at why, would we turn against populations that actually would be supportive of promoting human rights, which are also in not just our national interests, but the global interests as well to bring about peace.